guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I can't believe this is my second video already. I'm proud of myself. My name is Rahima and I'm really honored to have you here. Thank you for watching. Today I want to show you guys how I show up for myself every day in different categories of my life and how that changed my life. And I started this only a year ago. I took it seriously. I really focused on one category above the other ones, but that category, you'll see in a little bit, helped me get the strength and the courage to focus on the rest. So that was like the key for me. So let's just get into it. So the first category that I focus on in order for me to show up for myself and be aligned with the highest version of myself and what God wants for me is spirituality. So when it comes to my faith, I wasn't always where I am with my iman and my faith, iman, faith. I wasn't always like this, but a year ago, I just had the most clarity after feeling very lost. I prayed. A year ago, I really decided to really take it seriously and to start praying and do my 5 daily prayers. And I also added where those are, we have to do them. It's obligatory. And I added to that doing the dhikr, which is like remembrance of God, and the affirmations related to the 99 names of God in order for me to be more familiar with them and to remember them when I'm going through a hard time or everything is great. Just in my prayers, it really helps to develop your iman, your faith. So I started doing that. I started reading the Quran regularly. So I personally read Al-Baqarah every morning, and every night I read Al-Waqi'ah, a little bit of each. I do my dhikirs, the remembrance of God. I do them in the morning as soon as I wake up. Along with that, I do the reading the Quran. I do it after Asr, the dhikr, and I also do it when I'm going to bed. And along with that, I read the Quran, the translation and the Arabic one. I'm very grateful that I'm able to read the Arabic one, and that is a skill that my parents taught me when I was young. Back in my country, in Djibouti, we had Arabic classes and I was the best of the house. Like out of all my sisters, I was the best. So I'm really happy that at age 29, I'm able to make use of that. So the spirituality aspect, that category, without me straightening that and building my spiritual tools, there's no way I would have been able to focus on the other categories that I'll be sharing in a little bit. So that's really the key. That is my anchor. It's what gives me the courage, the bravery, the will to keep on going, to even wake up. As long as I am worshiping Allah every single day, my purpose, check, it's done. All the other things that I want to do in this life, they're gonna get handled regardless. As soon as I focus on my afterlife, they're gonna get handled. So that's what I focused on. And then the other one is finances. Oh my God, I understand that finances can be such an overwhelming thing when you're trying to get a handle on it and you don't really necessarily have the knowledge, the tools. You might be feeling overwhelmed only. You don't really see the hope. You don't really see it working out, at first. At least I'll be speaking for myself. For me, I really had to get myself out of, debt that I got in, because I went to university, and where I'm from now, where I am in Canada, you can take student loans. I'm sure the US you do that. But I had to take, my student loans weren't enough to cover me living at school, because I really had to live at school in order for me to focus. I couldn't do that at home, so I really had to, it wasn't covering, the student loans were covering my my dorm and everything that comes with the food and stuff. So I had to take a personal loan, and it wasn't with a bank. and that is not something I would, advise anyone to do. Personal loans and the type of personal loan that I took really made my life harder than it needed to be. But, in hindsight, I'm really grateful that I've been through this hardship, because it made me who I am. It taught me so much, and it's not like I would make the mistake again. I learned my lesson. God is getting me out of it. Inshallah, by the end of this month, I should be done with it, inshallah. But I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. So I started to focus on that. And that, the thing about that is it has power over you when you're in the dark. When you're not in the dark and you know exactly what is the interest, what you can pay down, how long it's gonna take you to pay it down, and you make a plan and you're really disciplined with it, you're good. And you really have to have a lot of patience. But when you don't know what's going on and it's all gray in your mind and you're avoiding it, you don't want to see, you can't seem to find a way out, you don't know how you're going to pay it off, you don't know if you can pay a certain amount every month, you just don't know, you're in the gray area, that's like really bad for your mental health, and it's just bad for everything. Like, you won't be able to move forward because you always have that weight on you. So I advise you, if you want to take any advice, to really write down your interest and what you can pay, like really get the details of your debt and really look into it, like be present and look into it. And that's really gonna help you. Right? So the other category is emotionally. I really had to really dig deep and really get to know myself a year ago. Like, there comes a time in life where the inner work that you need to do, my experience at least, the inner work that you need to do, you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. For me, it was like a few years ago, I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. Of course, like, this is serious, like, I'm doing it. But, the amount of trauma that I've been through and the amount of things that happened to me that weren't necessarily positive, but now, I can see that it happened for me. Like, everything makes sense to me now, thank God. That is a blessing that God is able to show me that. But all the things that happened to me and all the things that I've grown through, I really had to sit down and little by little really look into, why am I feeling this way? Why am I, like, where does it come from? And if you really dig deep, it all comes down to your childhood. So I really had to do a lot of inner child healing, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still healing, because it never ends. But there's a point where you can get to with your healing journey that you become really filled with so much joy, and you feel so much joy, at the end of, I guess, like the heaviness, the nitty gritty, the heaviness of the healing journey. And I'm happy to report, like, that's where I am. But there's still like a lot of things that I need to heal that God shows me. And, I'm taking it as, oh, I can do it now. Like, you have the courage to tackle this thing that you need to heal. And all those things are going to help me be more connected to who I am, who I'm supposed to be. And I'm just going to feel really good. And I'm going to know what I want, what the things that I enjoy, the things that I really want to create. And it's really going to deepen my connection with my, the people that are close to me, family, friends, and most importantly, my connection with myself. I also really started to focus on the voice in my head, because I really noticed that, and I learned, that the voice in my head, if that voice is not encouraging me, and if it's like filled with self-doubt and negativity, then it's my biggest enemy. So I had to befriend that voice and really rewire her to be positive and my number one cheerleader. And now, even when I'm doing a plank, she tells me, you can do this. When I'm doing like a challenging workout, she's like, you can do this. When I'm really doing something challenging or something really hard, something that I feel like, I can get defeated, it always tells me, you can do it, you can do it, you're doing it, you're strong. So it really helps me out. And I really had to do the inner work and really focus on, my nervous system as well, because I really had to dig deep and really calm my nervous system. And that is something I do every single day, and it's something I'll continue to do, and something that is a priority of mine, because if that is not on point, as a human, as a woman, like, everything's gonna be all out of whack, and that's not what I'm looking for. So that's what I focus on. So yeah, so those are the 3 categories that I really focused on, and I continue to focus on. I'm not saying there isn't any more, but those are the 3 things that I really needed to focus on. And like I was telling you guys at the beginning, for me, if my faith is not on point and I'm not doing all the things that I need to do, when it comes to all the things that I just mentioned, if I don't do that, if that's not on point, then I shouldn't be surprised that other aspects of my life are like harder to tackle, or they're challenging more than they should be. I always like, look, I'm like, where am I, where am I slipping? Like, I'm not perfect, but every single day I really focus on my number 1 purpose, which is worshiping Allah. And that makes it easier for me to do my creative pursuits, to deal with whatever comes at me, whatever life throws at me. I'm just like, okay. Instead of freaking out, I pray about it, and then I find a solution. If I can't find a solution, that means I cannot control it. It's out of my control. God's gonna find a solution. I'm gonna be patient and focus on the things that are going well. Finally, like, to end this video, I wanted to share a journal entry of a year ago, like exactly a year ago, October 20th. And I just wanna, share like where my headspace was at when I really started doing this, really focusing on, my spirituality, in order for me to fulfill my potential and have the courage and bravery and the will, quite frankly, to go after the things that I want to go after. So I just want to share, like, it makes me like so emotional, to be honest, but I'm really proud of myself. And journaling is something that really does help me. Like, this whole journal is from that era. And oh my god, like, every entry I'm just like, wow, when I need to go like read it, whenever I feel like it, I'm like, oh my god, like, you really did the damn thing. And I couldn't have done it without Allah's help and him giving me the strength. But I want to share this. So this is how I always start. Like, honestly, you don't have to make it complicated, journaling. I would start with, today was a great day. Today was an amazing day. Today was a good day. Today was, at that time, it was a heavy day. So today, October 20th, 2024, here I go. So today was a heavy day. I tried to stay positive. I talked to Allah, did my prayers, and that helped a lot. I went on a walk. I made a plan for my finances for the week. I'm looking forward to this week, inshallah. At the time, I was looking to get the job that I have right now, because I was gonna move from Toronto to Montreal, and I wanted to have a job to move with and to be in a Montreal team, whether that be in the same company or another company. And this was the time where I first heard about the job, and then through my manager, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna get it. So I was praying about it, and I really wanted it, because it would have been easy for me, for my move, for everything. There was also an increase involved, and I had the skills. So I was like, inshallah, I get an interview with that manager. Inshallah, I get the job. May Allah make it easier. Inshallah, Allah makes it easier because He's the only one with the power to make it happen and to make this easy, this process. I was praying about the increase in the salary, that I would get the one that I wanted. And I was reminding myself that Allah can perform miracles because I already witnessed so many miracles. And honestly, like this whole past year, like every single day is a miracle. Like you just have to focus on, you will find a miracle. You will really find that you are living in an answered prayer if you focus on it. Like every single moment, I swear, you're living in an answered prayer. So it's not easy, but it's something you can actually, you can build that muscle and you can build that mindset. And, with your mindset being, focusing on your, and as you know, focusing on your mindset is kind of everything. So Allah can perform miracles. I trust Him fully. Inshallah, He thinks this is the job for me because I clearly don't want anything that God doesn't want for me. I know I will be okay, reminding myself of that. And then I would always write down 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 or more. And I would also add names of Allah. He's one of His 99 names. So I would say I'm grateful for my iman, I'm grateful for my progress, I'm grateful for staying consistent in my practices, I'm grateful Allah provided me with the means of paying my bills, my debts, I'm grateful for my mother, I'm grateful for the food that I have, the sustenance, I'm grateful for the ability to move my body. And then I would always sign with Allah's names, 1 or more. This time I needed more, as you can see. As I can see, it was Al-Wahhab, Al-Samad, Al-Muqit, Al-Razaq, Al-Ba'sit, Al-Hasid. Just so powerful. I really hope me sharing how I show up for myself helps at least one person. I just wanted to thank you for being here and see you in my next video.